You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's The Real Housewives of Miami After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Real Housewives of Miami After Show.
It's a run in our blood. That kind of luck's just ain't for us. We crave a different kind of love.
Hey guys, Bing is for doing, and welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Real Housewives of Miami After Show. It's Season 3, Episode 5, A Cause for Concern. I'm Brooke Chavez, and joining me tonight is the lovely...
Hi, I'm Jake DuPree.
Mr. Jake DuPree.
Uh-huh.
So, Jake, let's just get right into
Okay,
it.
let's do this.
It was the night and day of the Royal Gala, the Blacks Gala.
Mm-hmm.
And the show starts out with Leah on the phone calling Alexia to find out. I mean, she already got on her knees in the past to find out, is Alexia going to be attending the gala? And we find out from Alexia that first she has prior commitments to go to this gay polo event.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me what you think. Do you think that it was that she should have even gone to the event, or
Well,
what do you
I mean,
think about the whole ordeal?
First of all, let me start off with saying that I think Leah just wanted her to be there because she knows that her husband's going to drop big money,
Right.
which, I mean, it's charity, like, hello. And, of course, if she wants to have, make the money. So, great. Get the rich people there. But I don't know. It's weird for me. Like, we'll get to this later, but, like, Alexia, it's just strange to me. Like, there's a very strange vibe that's going on with these women. And like Lisa said later in the episode, that Leah was the HBIC, and now she's not that anymore. And I feel like she's losing control, and she's trying to at least pull someone in. I think that person is Alexia.
Oh yes, she's definitely trying to wrangle her supporters back
Yeah,
in.
she has no one. I mean, except Joanna. But what ammunition does Joanna have? Like,
Right.
nothing.
Exactly. And so, and I just love how, if you notice, there's so many intricacies with Leah Black when she's on the phone with the girl. She's always like, "Hello, princess," or "Hi, beauty queen." And then at the end of the conversation, she's like, "Okay, goodbye, my Cuban Barbie doll." She's like, "Remember, I'm the one who named you that from the very beginning." And that's just like her little ways of kind of like keeping her
Keeping
girls
the
in
control.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Right?
saw that a lot of people on Twitter were saying that, watching the East Coast version, and they were saying, "Oh, she's just saying that to, like, get her roper in." And I was like, exactly.
Exactly.
That's
And of
exactly what
course,
was
she's
doing.
just wanting to make sure that Herman, drops his dough.
Mm-hmm.
So then from there, we see Lenny and Lisa, and they're having, the conversation that they've been having. And we know it's been such a struggle, and they're talking about finally going ahead and giving in and using a surrogate.
Mm-hmm.
And Lisa starts crying because she's like, "Lenny, you don't understand, to think of our baby, my baby, and growing in someone else's belly." I mean, it's such a tough situation for them.
And I'm really glad that this is being brought up on, especially on a show like this. And I'm glad, Juliana and Bill, they went through that whole thing. And I think it's cool for people to see, because it's like there's so many options out there for people to have kids. It's like you don't have to carry it. I mean, I know that the feeling of probably being a mother and having that child grow inside of you is amazing, but that shouldn't stop you from not having a family if you really want a family. And I'm glad that they're showing that.
Right, and especially if you want your own biological child.
Yeah, and it's not like it's not her baby. It's
Right.
his sperm and her egg. So
Right, and I mentioned this before, I can totally identify with how, it might not be great to think about the fact that you can't carry your own baby, but,
Yeah.
Once she has that baby in her hands and she sees that baby growing up, like we see with
She'll-
Juliana,
And
they'll
it'll just
put that behind
Yeah,
them.
she won't even think about that anymore.
Right, but it's definitely tougher, especially for a woman not knowing that you can't carry your baby.
Yeah.
So then we see it's the morning of the gala, and Leah's there having all her people figure out tables and arrangements. And she's like, oh, you would think that obviously she already figured all of this out. But she's like, oh, I don't know. Like, should I move this person last minute? And I don't know if Alexia is going to come for sure or not. And I have this big personality. And, you know, it's just her acting like there's chaos or whatever. You know, they got to stage something. So we just get a little snippet of that. And then, bam, shoot to the other girls who aren't going to the gala. Adriana, Marisol, the Cube entourage, Marisol, Anna, Alexia, and Lauren Foster, who we love. And they're getting all cute and getting ready to go. They get on this ridiculous disco bus.
So trashy, but amazing at the same time.
Yes, exactly.
Too.
With the stripper pole.
And the lasers and all that shit. That's so crazy.
I know. Love it. And so the minute they get on the bus, they just get down and start talking about business. And they are asking Adriana, like, why are you wearing the sunglasses? What's up, girl?
Play the violins. Let's
right.
go.
And Adriana, oh, I've been crying all night because Roman. You know, he basically, of course, she always tells, I know you love her, but the story she tells, her version of the story is always just like.
She likes to flourish. I'll say that. She likes to flourish.
Exactly. And so she's like, Roman was intimidating me. He's talking down on me. And what do we get from Lauren? Yep, he's just a thug in Ferragamos.
That's the best line of the night. They better make a t-shirt with that. That's amazing. Right? I will say it, and I'm going to say it. I told Brooke this, but I think Lauren Foster needs to be a housewife. It'd be fascinating watching her life.
I would love to.
She's fabulous and so cool. I'm like, I just love her.
Exactly. So what do you think, though, about what Adriana was saying about Roman and, like, his intimidating her? Like, do you see that in – whose side are you on with the Frederick and Roman?
I mean, I just think that the men should stay out of it. I mean, I do like that Roman is defending Joanna because, I mean, for someone to call your girlfriend, like, a hooker and a prostitute, I mean, that's – uncalled for, and I'm glad that he's at least sticking up for her, but I don't know. I'm always going to be a fan of Adriana. I think she's funny, but there just needs to be, like, the boys just need to stay out of it and let these girls just have their, like, catty ridiculousness. Right,
but at one point, and this was mentioned on the last episode, Roman, I think one of the reasons that he was upset was because Frederick tweeted something, and I forget exactly what he tweeted.
Acting like girls, like, leave it to the
girls.
So
it's something that's between Roman and Frederick. Of course, he's also pissed off because, you know, Adriana was calling her, like, super whore and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. But, I don't know. I really... It's funny to see them have their own little drama, kind of like in the other Housewives franchise, with like the Joes
and the Orange County, and then the Atlanta men. They
want to get their like time in, so I love watching that. But I do feel like sometimes Roman gets into a zone, and it's like kind of scary. Yeah. And he's really rude and kind of obnoxious.
But I think it's just his presence because he's so like big and tall and French, and I feel like there's just something really intimidating about him.
Yeah.
And he just is like very aggressive and like those crazy eyes that he does a lot, eyebrow movements.
Oh, I know. He's always doing
that. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that he should necessarily like. I don't feel like he attacked Adriana at all for her to like be upset and cry or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you just have to be careful, like, the way that men speak to women sometimes. I mean, I just don't think that that's appropriate to be that aggressive. But I understand what he was, you know, his intention was to just defend Joanna, so that's okay.
But apparently also Frederick mentioned that Frederick had apologized to him, right?
Yeah, at the car wash.
Car wash, right? And they had, like, a gentleman's talk, and everything was all good. And then all of a sudden, again, Roman's like, whatever, forget you. So he just said, okay, it's all good.
To be quite frank, they're just acting like little bitches. Like, that's the best term for their behavior. It's
sometimes
ridiculous.
I feel like the men want to have more drama than the women sometimes.
Yeah.
And then not only that, what else was I going to say? Oh, with do you believe what Adriana said about the Colombian girl? Do you think that Roman's actively cheating?
I mean, it's hard for me to believe with a fiance like Joanna, even though she might be annoying and like nitpicky all the time, that if she was like, I want to have sex, and he's like, I'm not in the mood. I mean, come on.
Why are you not in the mood to have sex with Joanna Krupa?
Even if you hate her, and if this girl just being like willing, I'm sure that he would take the chance. I feel like that.
So he must be dipping in something else, in another pool, so to say.
Another Colombian pool, if you will.
Exactly. You know what? I mean, he is in the nightlife industry, and
that lends itself to that. I mean, I would be nervous if I was dating someone or engaged to someone in the nightlife industry. I'd be like, I don't know. You would take a very secure person to be okay with that.
And then also, you know, in past seasons when Joanna found those text mess or those exchanges. I don't know if it was text or email or what.
Or like AIM
But
or
I
something.
remember because obviously I'm Psycho Super Housewives fan. Like I was pausing to try to read.
Try to read everything.
And that was ridiculous. Some of the stuff that was going back and forth.
It was clearly flirty. But he
No,
owned,
I mean, they were, like,
owned
straight
up
up-
to it though.
Yeah,
he was
said.
like, yeah, I mean,
I was planning on leaving you.
Yeah. So, I mean, at least he was honest. I mean, that sucks to say, but at least he didn't lie about it though.
I'm surprised she let it go so quickly and so easily though, too. Because
Yeah.
based on the messages, I mean, it looked like he was having a full-fledged affair.
Yeah, if not it wasn't a physical affair, it was an emotional affair. That's what he said too. It was like an
That's
emotional
what he
thing.
says, but, you know.
Yeah, you never know.
I saw one piece that it was like, so are we going to meet up at this point or something like that. So I'm sure, I don't know. I have a feeling he's probably been there.
Yeah.
Who's to say? Who's to say?
Who's to say?
So the girls are, they're all talking whatever they're talking about the guys, and they're all against Leah, of course. And it starts raining, which is really funny. And then all of a sudden, it starts leaking in the bus. So and they're in this leaky disco bus.
This bus is hood. I like it though.
So hood. And then so they're on their way, and then we get a snapshot back at Lisa and. Beautiful Lisa, who we just love.
Fabulous.
She's all alone at her home, and she's getting ready, and she's talking about how she's like always by herself, waiting on Lenny who's working, and then he shows up late, and so he has to stay behind, and she takes the car, but he shows up with something wonderful and beautiful, like I didn't realize it was $400,000.
That's ridiculous.
Wow, she's a lucky girl. And so he told her, I realize we have this next cycle that we're going through, and I just want you to be happy. So
that's really sweet.
I know. It was
yeah,
so
she's
nice.
like, well, late what? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't hear you from the bling that's going through my eyes.
I know.
Right now.
I'd be very happy. I'd be like, what cycle, honey? It's all good. So then we go back. So from then on, we're going back and forth between the gala and the polo event. And we're back at the polo event. And I was kind of annoyed. So they're all sitting around having drinks and watching the event and looking at the different booths, and everyone's talking about Leah's gala, and Alexia doesn't say a damn thing the entire time, like ho hum.
I mean, I do understand the situation because it's like if you want to leave but you don't necessarily want to make these people disappointed, it's just like I get that uncomfortable feeling. It's nice to see like other adults going through something like that too. I mean, because that's gotta be tough because she wants to go to this event. But she doesn't want to make them mad.
Right. And but like, I just feel like if her intentions were in the right place for going to the event, and she said it's about my husband Herman is a businessman. He's well known in Miami. He has friends that are going. I mean, it's about networking. And then B, the most important reason, it's for charity. It's for these kids.
That are
They've
less
always
fortunate.
gone.
Yeah.
Herman's always contributed. It's something that they do, and it's like let's let bygones be bygones for a charity event.
Yeah, she should have just been like, I'm going. I mean, it's
Exactly.
charity. Like, I'm going to help these little kids. I don't know.
And I just...
It was weird.
Yeah, and she just pretty much acted like, I have no idea. I'm probably not going to be going. I don't know, And it was just annoying. But it was cute. So they're going around and looking at the booths. And
those are fun, though.
Yeah. And there was like an Irish booth, and then there was a booth with a panther. And all the ladies were running up to the panther. And Adriana was like, oh, cougars love a... I don't know what she called it. A tiger. She called it a tiger.
Oh, a leopard.
And then she called it a leopard.
Yeah.
And then Anna said, sorry, she puts the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Anna comes up with some really good one-liners. She's good. She's quick
really
with
witty.
it.
She's a smart girl. So then we go back to Leah. And Leah's in her hotel room, and all of a sudden, Taylor Hicks shows up, which is so
It's like,
weird.
who has
do
heard
you
or
think
thought
about
about
that?
him in the first place?
I know.
Ugh, I can even... he was up against Catherine McPhee his season, and Catherine McPhee has been like on Smash and like a million things and is beautiful. Taylor Hicks, like, what?
I know. What is he doing now? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Aside from trying to revive himself by coming on Real Housewives of Miami.
He's trying to be relevant for a minute. He was on Broadway for a little bit. He was in Greece, and he was touring with Greece, actually. So.
Poor Taylor Hicks.
Yeah.
He's too nice. He needs to like be involved in some scandal or something so we can start talking. Is he heterosexual?
I
think so.
I mean,
Because she asked him if he was single, and he was just like, I'm happy.
Oh, yes.
Which is an interesting...
Yeah. What?
I know.
I mean, that'd be an interesting turn of events if Taylor Hicks turned out to be gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he should be at the polo event instead of
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Met
Performing
Gala.
at the polo event with the leopard.
Uh-huh.
And then it was just so awkward, this whole one scene. And then the Jeffrey Racktower, I believe, is this jeweler, the jeweler to the stars of Miami. And he comes with all of these this ridiculous bling. And it was just so weird. Taylor's just sitting there like,
I know.
Why am I here? And then she's trying on like, 100-carat
Like
diamond
Taylor
earrings.
Who now, yeah.
Exactly. And the original reason she was there was with a girl named Beth from Texas who's helping her with her tell-all book,
Oh, yes.
which we're still trying to figure out.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah.
But it's
So-
fiction / not fiction, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's strange.
So do you
You're not
foresee...
Bethany Frankel, I'm sorry.
I know, right? Her show premiered today, by
It
the
did,
way.
it did. I watched it.
Me
I
too.
love her.
Anyway, that's another housewife for another day.
Uh-huh.
And then we go back to Lenny and Lisa, and Lisa's heading off to meet up with Leah. And let's see, there was a lot of back and forth between the polo event and the gala. And one thing so we go back to the gala, and one thing that I thought was interesting was that Lisa and Leah are sitting together. They're at her hotel room, and Leah said, these girls are just a bunch of junior high gang of girls, like, hating on the prom queen. I was like, really?
I was like, you're not going to get people on your side with saying that.
Exactly. And Lisa said, she used to be the HBIC, and now it's kind of like, she's losing all, like, yeah.
She lost all control.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really funny because it's like each housewife city has, like, kind of the older, like, mother character of it, who's kind of like, you guys are silly and like, I'm just involved, and I'm kind of like trying to keep y'all together. And this is the first time I've really seen that girl kind of become dethroned. And I mean, Vicky was a lot like that in Orange County too, for everyone that watches Orange County Housewives. But Leah, the tables have completely turned on her, because she was always the one that was just like, I'm silly and funny, and I say weird things sometimes, and like, you all like me or whatever.
Right, and she was always in the middle of the drama, like more right in the middle.
Yeah, like
didn't
what
really
Lisa's
take
role
sides.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's not that way anymore.
Not
I
so
kind of
much.
like it, though. I kind of like seeing her at odds with people, because it's funny because she like says kind of she has good confessional moments where it's just her alone. Like, she has a really well thought out thing, but when she's in the moment, I feel like she doesn't bring her A game. Like,
Right.
she's off and like doesn't really defend herself the way she should.
Right. For example, when they had the argument at venue, and she
Yeah.
talked to Adriana and Frederick, and she's like, "Oh, well, it has nothing to do with you,
Oh,
Frederick."
yeah. Yeah, like,
But yet she was saying, like, how are you going to like take from me when you're with Frederick? So you have a point there.
yeah, so why just own what you have to say.
And Adriana
Exactly.
specifically said she does that. She'll get on the sides, the good side of the man. So then the woman has no choice but to follow. I
Yeah.
wouldn't follow my man anyway, but you know what I mean. But she has a point there that Leah's. I mean, she's not stupid about what she's doing.
No,
So,
Leah's very strategic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's calculating. She knows what but sometimes she can like fluster a little bit.
Yeah.
In the midst of
And I mean, I feel like at the reunions too, she's a lot like that. She's kind of like offering, like if people start coming at her, she's like, like she doesn't know what to do, like standing up on my back, all that.
On my back. Oh my goodness. And then so back to the Cuban mafia here, Adriana. So they're talking about Leah, and she specifically straight up says, "You know what? I'm scared of her." To be honest with you, like, I'm scared of Leah and what she has the potential to do.
I mean, look at the people that she pulls for just her charity, like a charity event. It's not even like a red, I mean, it is a red carpet, but it's not like the Emmys or the Oscars. It's like a charity event, and she's pulling huge, pretty big names in Miami.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I would be nervous too going up against her, because I feel like she has a lot of pull, it seems.
Yeah,
in
she
Miami.
definitely does. She's the unofficial mayor of Miami.
Oh, yeah.
So, But at the end, when they're all getting back in the bus, Alexia is like, "Well, guys, I've had this driver here who's been waiting for like 2 hours."
Yeah.
And they're like, "What?" So, and she's like, because I wasn't feeling well. She's still skirting around like the fact that she's going to the gala. And she's like, and I feel, Herman sent him. I wasn't feeling well. And Marisol, she really steps in. She's like, "Well, whatever. Just come with us. We're leaving now."
Yeah.
And Alexia's like, "Well, I think Herman's going to go to the gala." I'm like, really?
That's the way you're going to bring this up?
That's the way. I would just own it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you know your heart's in the right place, just say, "You know what? This is stupid. I'm going to the gala." And eventually, after they talk in the bus, at the end, she does say, you know what, you guys need to grow up. This is not about winning or losing. You know, this is about a charity event. But
I mean, Alexia's
think?
not in. I mean, Alexia hasn't been in the situation where Leah's basically trying to ruin two people's lives. I mean, she attacked Marisol, and Marisol's career. I mean, she attacked her business, and that's one thing to attack a person, but to attack their business, like that's their livelihood outside of this show. Like, I feel like people shouldn't attack that and attack someone's like game and like what they're trying to do. And she attacked Adriana, like saying that she's, you know, lying to her and stuff. I mean, she did.
Right.
She did lie to her. I'll admit that. But I feel like Alexia is smart because this magazine business, I mean, it seems to do really well, and she doesn't want someone like Leah to come up against her either. But it looks like it might be happening.
It might be
after
happening
this.
because, and I really thought she was going to head to the gala.
Yeah.
She gets home and decides all of a sudden, once she, you know, gets in the shower and is starting to get ready, that she's not going to go to the gala
I'm like,
anymore.
this is the longest day that's ever happened
I
in
know,
Housewives
exactly,
history.
exactly. It was like one day and
Yeah.
like all of these, you know, going back and forth. And I was really surprised by that. I was
too.
surprised. So clearly she's decided that she's going to take her friend's side.
I mean, I kind of do wish that they would have gone to the event just so it could have been like, I don't know, an olive branch.
I wish she would have proven her point as well. I mean, she stood up finally and said, "Hey, it's not about winning or losing. You know, it's about something more." And then she doesn't go. So like, okay, so what is it about?
So you're
then?
not for the kids, like yeah,
Exactly.
it's just strange.
And I don't think that I don't really think that the Cuban gals would have been that pissed at the end of the day.
Yeah, she's like,
think
I
they
just
would
want
have
to,
gotten over it.
I feel bad not donating to this charity. End of discussion. Like they can't say that because it's her money and her husband's money. Like they can't,
Right.
you know. Say
But I'm
how
sure she
says it.
still is upset about what supposedly, and I think she believes that Leah was saying these horrible things about her sons.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting that she just now decided to be like, I'm standing up for this, because it seemed like she brought it up, but it was like kind of fine. But she seems to take her kids, like, I mean, she's a like mama bear a little bit about the kids, so I understand where she's
she's
coming
all about
from.
her kids.
Yeah.
And another thing, so Anna's the one who said, you know, Leah always wins. And then she's like, "What? It's not about winning or losing." But then Adriana said, "Well, let me put it another way. She always gets her way."
Yeah.
And I mean, for the most part, she has.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she really has some pull over these girls, but they're kind of slowly slipping from her grip. And now she's like, I don't know what to
I
do.
don't know. Yeah.
Who am I
going to
get exactly? Who am I going to get on my side, and how can I, you know, pull them to my side? I don't know. I think it's all for their age a little bit petty. Especially, I mean, I think it's really commendable what she's doing with this gala, this charity event. I mean, there's a little bit of an agenda that, you know, it's kind of made her known within the city,
little
but
flash
at least
and show
somebody is getting some good from it.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I guess you can do whatever you want if you're raising money for a good cause.
Yeah.
So.
Which is what most, you know, socialite elitist people do.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
just an excuse to drink and, like, you know, waste money. But not waste money because, you know,
If someone has the
it
money
goes
to
towards,
spend, yeah.
towards charity. But, you know, the things that they're bidding on sometimes are a little ridiculous.
A little silly.
Yeah. So then we cut back to the gala again, and all of these interesting characters are showing up.
Dennis Rodman.
OMG. So Dennis Rodman gets there, and Leah says to one of the waiters, like, quickly runs off to the side. He's still on the red carpet getting photographed, and she's like, "Can you get 2 vodka sodas for Dennis, please?" I'm like, "Hello, guys." He was in celebrity rehab and sober house.
Yeah.
It's not very supportive.
I feel like the production
sobriety.
team like made a point to show that clip because they didn't have to show that.
They didn't have
you
to
know.
show that. That didn't make.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with the Real Housewives and like what was going on.
Exactly.
And I was just waiting for the ball to drop with Dennis Rodman for him to like do something ridiculous.
I know. I mean, he looked ridiculous.
And he openly admitted, you know, he has a problem with alcohol.
Yeah.
Finally on the show. I think that's just unfortunate that.
And then we see Elaine too.
Yes, we see Elaine Lancaster.
Her crazy dress and her crazy wig.
And her hair. Yeah, I
I'm
like her
surprised we
too.
haven't seen her more this season.
I know. I really would. I would love to.
I
see
feel like
more of
maybe
her.
she made a point, like herself. She was like, I don't know if I want to be on this as much as I was, because last season was like all about her and like Marisol.
Yeah.
So.
But I still love watching her.
I did too. She's ridiculous.
So then we see Lenny and Lisa and Roman and Joanna, and they're all standing around, and Roman's talking about the little tiff he had again with Frederick, and Lenny's trying to play the mediator, like Lisa tries to play the mediator with the girls. He's like, maybe we should get all the guys together, have a couple of drinks, talk this out, hash this out. But I think even if they were to do that it would be like superficial and like,
yeah,
I don't know that
like a little scripted for me. I don't know. Yeah, because I feel like they don't hang out. I feel like the guys don't hang out.
No.
I don't know.
Not like others on other shows.
No.
Yeah, they're not family.
And then Lisa had that amazing line about Joanna's fake bangs.
Oh yeah.
What was the lead up to that? What was like the punchline?
What was she saying that was? I can't remember now.
Shoot.
It was so funny.
Oh God, I'm sorry. I don't remember, but it was Lisa. That was a really funny moment. She was like, "You have fake bangs" or whatever.
Yeah. I love Lisa's just like she'll just say whatever.
Yeah. But it's all in fun too. Yeah. Like I feel like she's not cutting people down. Like some of the other ones.
She's not someone to be stepped on. Kind of like her
tagline.
Tagline, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, people underestimate me all the time, and it's true. Like she'll stand up for herself.
Which
is even more surprising when you see the next episode when she's talking the stuff she's talking to her mother-in-law. I'm like, oh my goodness, girl.
That takes balls to stand up to your mother-in-law.
Yeah,
That's
really
intimidating. I would feel like.
I know, and I don't know who said it. I think it was Lisa, but she's like, oh my goodness, the fact that these girls aren't here is ridiculous. Let's just let all the kids suffer because we all hate Leah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think they should have like taken the high road and been above it. And if they've always gone to the gala. And
it could also be like a little like turn your nose up at Leah to be like, look at all this money I'm donating to your charity, you know? So she could feel silly for being mean to them.
Right, exactly. Because
So
she's apparently always the one. They're the charity cases and she's helping them. So why don't I I'll donate to your charity now and
Exactly.
So, but they didn't take that opportunity, which is sad. And Leah had a really hard time this time with them auctioning off some of her gifts, like the Emmys tickets and a necklace.
People were not interested at all.
And then so randomly, a Polish woman donated $10,000 in Joanna's name, and Joanna was like, "What? What's going on? I have no idea."
That was really weird.
That was so weird.
I didn't know. I mean,
she was spilling out of her dress.
A lot of spillage. There's a lot of spillage. A lot of cleave going on.
Yeah. Lenny could not help that situation. I don't think so.
It'd take a mountain to move that.
This is just
I don't know if that makes sense, but whatever.
This is just an odd episode. I feel like it was a little anticlimactic.
It was all over the place.
Though, especially Flo Rida came, took his shirt off.
Yeah, and speaking of Flo Rida, if you want to go to iTunes and download our show, you can download it, listen to it, rate it, and then you can go on iTunes and buy some Flo Rida music.
Exactly.
Segue, full circle. And if you, while you're there on iTunes, you can also buy, just buy Serial Buddies, which Kevin Undergaro and Maria Menounos, they both put together. And it is really, really funny. It's like Dexter meets Dumb and Dumber. So, yeah.
You guys will love it. You definitely have to check it out.
Yeah, it's cute and fun and silly. And it keeps our lights on here, so...
Yeah, so we can talk more gossip and crap about all the Real Housewives that we love, though.
Exactly, you love it.
We have a love-hate relationship with them.
For sure.
So, and then with Flo Rida. So at the very end, which is the cheesiest thing, he was like, "When I say Leah, you say Flo."
I can't. That was so silly.
I know.
But I mean, it's her gala, and she's paying his.
Yeah.
You know.
And they didn't show Taylor performing.
They showed him playing his harmonica.
All that he got was his little cameo when he had to sit there awkwardly as Leah tried on her jewels. It was just sad because I'm sure he went on this. He did what he did so that he could get a little bit of playtime, some airtime, and show his talent. Yeah. And they didn't even show him singing once, which is so unfortunate.
Oops. He probably was while they were people were sitting down, he was just the background music, probably.
Yeah.
That's sad.
So, but
good for him, though. I mean, look, we're talking about him now, so.
Exactly. If you want more airtime, you can come on this show, and we'll let you play
And if you want more Taylor Hicks, you can go to iTunes and download his music.
Exactly. And rate our show and all that good stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. What else do you want to add? It was just,
it's I've been waiting for the episode to, one episode to really peak, and then that causes all the craziness. But
and the gala, there's always something that happens. It's crazy or interesting at the gala, and it was just all what was to be expected. You knew the Cuban mafia wasn't going to go.
Yeah.
And then I love the last shot was Flo Rida singing, and then it goes to them, and they're all sitting in the leaky disco bus,
yeah.
So sad.
So why don't we get into some predictions?
All right.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I predict that Leah is going to come full force for Alexia.
Oh, go after her. Because she didn't show up.
I think she's not going to believe her. I mean, I do think that Alexia was genuinely sick, but then she says in her confessional, she was like, I'm going to side with my friends. So, I mean, Leah's going to come for her.
Right. So,
Yeah.
oh, for sure. The fact that, do we know that Herman showed up or not? Did he show up after all? Or
I don't
they
know.
neither one
I
of
don't
them
know. That was a weird, the continuity of that was kind of strange,
weird.
Leia.
So
I don't
odd.
know. I don't know if
I
he
almost
actually
felt
went.
like I saw Herman on the red carpet, though,
Maybe.
at the beginning. Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, we know, too, we got a little glimpse into hearing that apparently Adriana found out
Oh, I'm so excited about this.
that something about Leah, but I don't know
Leah
exactly.
changed her name and was married before.
Right, and apparently she did this all in secret.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if this is true. I knew that the leaf would turn at some point and we'd get some more info. But I still don't think that just because two wrongs don't make a right.
Exactly.
So, you know.
Exactly.
She-
it's a
you
little
know,
dirt throw. It's like lead in the
Adriana's trying to
face.
deflect still. So, like, if that happened, like, that's, you know,
I mean,
that just goes to show that, like,
it's
people are
fun. It's
hypocrites.
funny that this stuff has not come out before because they've both been on all 3 seasons. So I don't know. It's interesting that they haven't like been
but
able to
I'd
find
love
this
to hear
stuff.
more dirt about Leah.
Yeah.
Just because,
It's
you know.
interesting. And of course, if she's bringing all this stuff about Adriana,
backstory.
like, here it comes.
Exactly.
Get ready. I'm excited about it.
We all have, you know, a little bit of dirt. But anyhow, so that's
yes,
that.
we do.
So this is the end of the show, guys. Thanks for watching. And if you would like to know more about us or follow us, you can follow me at Brooke Chavez LA on Twitter.
And you can follow me on Twitter at Jake_DuPree and on Instagram at Jake DuPree.
Thanks for listening, guys.
See you next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.